important, having more information, whatever is there in the book, something more than that, then you show. Don't repeat whatever is there in the book. Okay? Anything, anything important information. What is the definition of information? Information should have some new thing, some sort of
Valuable content.
surprise value.
Yes, sir.
Information, definition of information is it should have some surprise value, something new is to be there. So whatever is there in the book, don't show that. Something new, if you have really discovered, then you present. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Rekaj,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
start.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah,
So,
make it full view, screen, full screen.
sir. Yes, sir. Let me try from beginning.
Make it full screen.
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible. Make
In
it
full
full
screen?
screen.
All right. Is it visible, sir? Full screen visible?
Not
Hello.
full screen.
Full
It's not
screen.
full screen. It's not full screen.
Make it presentation mode.
Yes, sir. I'm trying. I'm trying. Sir. Sir, in my
Here
it is
you
showing full
can
screen.
just
Full
look to
screen.
my arrow.
Nah. You should learn. You should learn. When you are presenting, make it full screen. F5.
Here
If
you
you
can
press F5, I think.
Uh, Shall I begin, sir?
Yeah, make it, but not at full screen. You learn it how to make it full screen in the
Yes,
next
sir.
class. You learn it.
I will, sir.
Yeah.
So batch sequential architecture, it comes under the data flow architecture, and what happens in this architecture, a batch of data flows sequentially from one subsystem to another subsystem. So in this diagram we can see input data is like a batch of data, and there are I have shown three subsystems, but if the system is more bigger or more complex, then we can have multiple subsystems. So subsystem 1, subsystem 2, subsystem 3, and the data flows from one subsystem to another subsystem, and finally we will get the output result. And the batch.
It is not possible to do it full screen in the presentation mode.
Yes, sir, I am trying, sir, but it is not showing.
But no need to show, just do Shift F5.
Shift F5. Sir, can you see in full mode?
Shift F5.
Yes, sir,
Shift
I have pressed it. In my desktop, it is showing that it is a full screen in the presentation mode, but can you see it in the presentation mode or?
No.
Yes, sir, that is the problem. I have tried earlier, sir. I will check it, sir, how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, batch sequential. So the main thing is previous subsystems complete execution before going to the next subsystem. Like I've already told you, subsystem 1 should be completed first, only then we can go to subsystem 2, and similarly. So example of this is banking transaction, ticket booking system, college admission form, etc. So banking transaction, I think it was covered in the presentation, in the classroom presentation. So I will talk about the college admission form. So in college admission form, like first we fill the student's detail, then we fill the academic details. We cannot fill academic details before the student detail. Like a student detail, student need to fill his name, name, father's name, mother's name, and all the communication details. And in academic details like 10, 12 mark sheets and all the BTech percentages or like that. And then the course details, like which course he want to enroll, he or she want to enroll, like in the civil, mechanical, electrical, anything like that. And finally we submit the application. So here is the diagram of the college admission form. So in this, the all the parallelograms represent the data, and all the rectangles represent what are the processes. So first So first we input the student information in the process student detail. So after inserting all the details like I've just told, the name and father's name, mother's name, or all those things, then we will have an option of save and continue. So after we press the save and continue, all the students detail get saved in the application form, and we get continued to the academic details form, in which the student will enter all the academic information, like upload all the mark sheets and all the provisional degree and all those things. And then when we will press the save and continue, all those details will get updated in the application form, and then we need to insert the course information into the course details process. And similarly, when we when we press the save and continue option, then all those course details will get updated in the application form. And finally, we have the option to print the form, and when we click on that option, we will get the final application form in the PDF form. So these are all the data items, and these are all the processes, and it is following a linear structure. So yeah, so description is what are the components in this system. Enter student data. What are the processes? So student details was one process, academic details was one process, and course details were one process. And what are the connectors? Like entire student information, which includes the personal detail, academic detail, course detail. Those were the connectors, and it shows the linear topology, like everything is going in the linear format. This is the entire description that I have just explained about this diagram. This is the entire description. So I think I should skip it. What are the advantages of the batch sequential? It provides us easier subsystems. Like the complete system is a very huge system, but as we have broken down into subsystems, they are pretty much easier. Like in student details, we need to fill several columns. Like I've just told, like name, father's name, and all those things. Maybe we also have a mobile number and email ID which we need to verify from our side. And each subsystem is an individual program that takes input and provides output data. Yeah, it's pretty much clear from that. Like these two are the input data, and what we are getting academic details updated. Similarly, in this course information and academic details updated, academic details updated are the input data, and what we are getting course details updated. So, and finally, it is a coarse grained. Coarse grained means it has fewer components, but all of them are uh, uh, fewer but larger components or subsystems. Like we have already showed here 3 or 4 subsystems, but each one of them are large. Like we need to fill number of details. Like in this academic details, we need to first of all we need to mention all the marks, and then we need to upload all the PDFs, all the mark sheets. And finally, the disadvantages: it has a high latency and low throughput. So high latency and low throughput means the actually when we are in the first subsystem, then all the subsystems are just waiting. When we only after we complete only after we produce this first subsystem produce the output, then we can reach to the entire academic detail subsystem. So it will take larger delays. We cannot it is not happening parallelly. So if it would happen parallelly, then there would be no such problem. And do not provide concurrency. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is represented from the name batch sequential, so everything would move sequentially, not concurrently. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
So go back to the previous slides. Go
Yes, sir.
back.
Which one? Which one, sir?
Rekaj.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm going back. Can you see anything, sir? I've on slide 4. Sir. Yes, sir. I'm on slide 4, sir. Which slide, sir? Can you tell which slide I need to go? Hello.
Rekaj.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm saying hello.
Yeah, go back. Go back
Yes,
to
sir.
the previous slide. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Which slide?
Wait.
Yes, sir.
Wait.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah. Next. Go back.
All right,
Just
sir. All
one
right.
slide. Go back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This one, sir. Hello. Hello.
Just previous slide.
Okay.
Just previous slide. Just previous.
Sir,
Three,
can you
slide
say
3.
slide number, sir?
Slide
Can
3.
you say slide 3? All right. Yes, sir. I'm on slide 3, sir. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audio.
I'm on slide 3.
Just the previous one. Not able to do.
Sir, no, sir. Just tell me the
Okay.
slide number, sir. I will do it, sir. I will do
Okay,
it.
dear
Just-
students, he told something about the coarse grain. Somo. Hello, Somo.
Hello.
Are you available?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Eruburi Somo. Eruburi.
Yes, sir.
Summary showed something about the coarse grain. Tell me something about fine grain and why it is here coarse grain. Tell. What is coarse grain? What is fine grain?
And why you have
Somo.
chosen coarse grain here?
Tell what is fine grain, what is coarse grain. Tell. Rekha, you open that slide.
Yes, sir. I have. Sir, can you just
That,
tell me the sir?
coarse
Sir.
grain slide towards the end. Coarse
Yes,
grain.
sir. All right, sir. I have opened.
Towards the
Sir.
end. 7.
It is on
slide
slide
number 7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
is opened, sir. Yes, sir.
Somo, he has
Yes,
written
sir.
here coarse grain. What is its meaning and which one is fine grain? Why fine grain cannot be applied here?
Sir, I don't know much about it, sir.
Making it
I'll
fine grain.
study and tell tomorrow, sir.
Why you didn't ask? Rekaj? He is there to help you. Why you will study tomorrow? Why you didn't ask? That's why I am telling you. You ask him. He is for you only. He has made it red colored.
Okay, sir.
Why
Okay,
you
definitely.
didn't ask? Why are you sitting idle? Why are you sleeping?
No,
Why
sir.
are
I
you
thought
sleeping?
of going through the PPT and.
Why did you ask? Don't give reply. Why you thought? Pratik Jaiswal, आप
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
बताओ ये
Yes,
कोर्स
sir.
ग्रेन क्या है इसमें
Yes, sir. Sir,
फाइन ग्रेन में क्या
granularity.
प्रॉब्लम है
Yes, sir.
व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम इफ आई मेक इट इज फाइन ग्रेन अगर मैं इस जगह लिख दूं तो इसमें क्या मेरी प्रॉब्लम होगी
Sir, as we know, sir, fine grains are used for very small means task, and coarse grains are used for large amount of task. Hello.
लार्जर अमाउंट ऑफ टास्क
Yes, sir. When we have to perform large amount of task parallelly, so we use coarse grain.
No. Larger component at that time.
Yes, sir.
Pure
for-
amount of larger component.
In this context, we
Fine
can say
grained is
components.
fine grained is large number of smaller components.
Yes, sir. Fine grain is a large number of smaller components.
Smaller components
But
means
coarse
the
coarse
components are
grain.
small, but they have large in number. They are large in number. But coarse grained, smaller number of larger components.
Yes, sir. Sir, and in this place, if we use fine grain, then there will be a lot of means overhead of synchronization, and also communication overhead also increases here if we use fine grain means components.
so what I mean to say you are supposed to ask anything in your mind just ask him don't sit idle it's your
Yes.
requirement go to the previous
It's not-
slide
It is not only the job for Rakesh. It is your also duty to ask some important questions to him. When you are facing difficulties, why are you not asking any questions? That is also your job to ask some questions to him. It is not only his job to present. He is presenting for all, not for him only.
Go back the
Yes,
previous
which,
one, the
which,
previous one.
yes, sir, I'm going, sir. Sir, description.
Uh,
Which
uh,
slide number, sir? Can you just,
yeah, okay, okay. So
sir,
this is
five,
the
yes, sir.
sequential way of go back, go back, go back, go
Yes,
back. Anything
sir,
important, I'm just
sir,
go
slide
back,
number, you can.
go back on that one, that one. No,
Sir, I'm on four slide number
yeah,
four.
in four, go to the five one, five.
Five one, sir, it is component
This,
connector and hello.
it shows what is a linear topology, what is a non-linear topology, where the linear is applicable, any application, any non-linear topology application, can you please tell?
Sir, linear is like all the processes are arranged in the sequential order, like one after another, and in non-linear, it may be like two or three processes are working together. It is
Any
something like that.
example? Any example of non-linear?
Sir, non-linear, like in the ATM system, sir, there are hello, am I audible
Ah,
now? Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah,
In
yeah.
the ATM system, like when we need to withdraw the money, then at the same time when we are collecting the cash, at the same time we are receiving an SMS on the mobile phone. So there are like concurrent processes are taking place. Very small example. It is a very small example, like withdrawing the money at the time.
It's not concurrent.
So we
It's a
can say publish subscribe.
microsecond gap is there, but it is sequential, one after another. You don't get everything at the same instant of time. I doubt. I doubt.
No, sir. We get at
Non-linear.
You get just there will be gap of some microsecond, but there will be gap. Something will be executed one after another
Yes.
in ATM. Is it at the same instance? I doubt.
Ye- Yes, sir. It should be at same instance because if there would be some error in that in between the process, like if you are saying that it is happening sequentially. Like first we collect the cash, then we are having the message. So if our system failed in the middle of that, so it means that we have collected the cash, but we do not receive any SMS, or we can say we our bank statement do not get updated. Like if I have withdrawn the 500 rupees, but it should be at the same time my bank statement should also show that I have withdrawn the 500 rupees. If it is not, if it is sequential na, so
You
if I
check
have
it, check it. You check it. There will be some microsecond gap. Some microsecond gap will be there, not at the same time. You check it.
all right,
You
sir, I
check
will do.
it. Yeah, you check it. I
All
doubt
right.
whether it is done at the same time. I doubt. There will be some microsecond.
Yes, sir.
One
Yeah,
question, Rekha.
yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm listening, sir, I'm listening.
In the description part, you have written the component is enter the student details. Enter
Yes, sir.
student and you will
Hello.
connect or enter student information. So how they will connect?
Yes, sir. Entire student information is basically the data that we are having with us. Like these are all the data that everyone should have. And enter student detail is basically the form. The when you can see that there are 5 steps in order to complete the application. So the first step is the enter student details. So the student detail is basically the form, entire form, and in that we need to fill all the personal details. So that.
Absolutely not. Component is the group of classes. The group
Yes,
of
sir.
classes is the object. It has to do some job. Job means some
Yeah.
attributes and methods. The enter is the method for that class.
Sir, it is doing the job
Exactly.
of
Sir. That's
updating.
a confusion. In your component, it is a confusion. Enter student means it is a command you are giving. Component means what? Enter means what? You are giving a command.
Uh, it- so what should I write? Should I write student details? It is something. I mean, sir, it is given the output, sir. Student details get updated in the application form, sir. So we are getting the output also. Like
So
when we
it
press save
cannot
and
be a
continue.
component. The name is wrong. It has to be what yesterday we saw. A class. A class has to be a noun.
Yes, sir.
Is associated with a verb. Verb is the job, operation, or method associated with the class. Component is a single class or a
Single
group of
class.
classes.
Actually, sir, it was also shown in the presentation, so I thought it is correct to
Don't
write.
think
I
wrong
will,
and
Also
misguide
encourage
other friends.
I will,
Don't
so I
write
will
it
write only
wrong
student
so that
details.
other
Like,
friends will be misguided. So you have to repeat it next class. This batch sequential component connector. This thing.
component are the which are the exact components and which are the connectors.
sir, one doubt, sir.
Next class. Color, collie, port, roll. You think next class Monday you have to show what are the components, what are the connectors, what is a color, what is a collie, what is the port, what is the roll. Okay? Do it again. It's wrong.
Hello.
It's wrong. Yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Jitendra. I have a suggestion for Rekaj. Rekaj, can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, I can hear.
So go to the slide number 5, that description slide.
Yeah.
So what I think is component should be the user interface name. Like we will be having some names for the interface. Like for the student, we will be having personal details. He will enter his personal details, so that would be the component. Then we'll be
Yeah.
having information like his like he'll be entering the documents
Yes,
history, right?
yeah,
So
I
after
understand.
that, yeah, academic details like
Yeah.
academic
So
and the component, and then likewise we will be having more components. You got my point?
uh, yeah, I have
Okay.
got your
Okay.
points.
Rekaj will give us a right picture next class. Okay. Next Monday. Okay. Close down. Quit
Yes,
Rekaj.
yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
Then Nirmal, show something correctly, Nirmal.
Yes, sir.
You didn't do well yesterday. I was unhappy with Nirmal. Make me happy. Nirmal, come up. Show something good, show something correct.
Sir, is it visible?
It is visible, make it full screen.
Sir, I tried, but it's not happening on my.
Learn it, learn it.
Sir, yeah.
Everybody,
Yes, sir.
school level, they are using this Microsoft Team. Learn it, okay? Learn it.
Sir, is it visible now in full screen?
No. You just give a control to me. I am trying from my side. You just give the control to me.
Okay.
Have you given?
No, sir, I am trying.
You just give individually the control to me.
Sir, where is that option?
In the top, it will be written there. Send
No,
control,
sir.
pass control.
You should check all these things. Why?
Sir, in
Just
top
sending
it's
a
not
request
showing
for
any.
sending a request to transfer the
Baby,
control.
a small tiny baby.
I allowed.
Allowed it?
Yes, sir.
Deva chada. Let him.
No.
Time is running out. Time is running out. Everybody should learn it next class. Deva, leave it. Deva.
Okay, sir.
Nirmal Panda,
Yes, sir.
you present. Start.
You continue, Nirmal, continue.
Next class, you should tell.
Sir, on my laptop it's showing full screen.
Arey Babu, everything, any picture you do something for others. Don't accept your words all the time. You show something for others. I all the time tell that the screen number, slide number should be a little bit bigger so that it should be clearly visible as Siddharth had shown in the presentation. Everything you are doing something for others,
Okay.
Not for yourself. Do it, start. It's a very
Yes, sir.
good pipe filter. The way I
Yes.
had given the assignment, I will ask immediately after this to anybody randomly. Okay.
So in this pipe and filter style, we will discuss what is a pipe, what is a filter, the components and connectors, and the characteristic of pipe and filter. Then we will
It is there in the book. Tell something new information, something new.
okay, sir.
Yeah.
So the new is here that the filter are of generally are of two types. One is active filter and one is passive filter.
Okay, go to that slide.
Sir, I am at slide number 4.
It's not moving. Just
Sir,
seeing
I am at
movie
slide
in
number
eye,
4.
not trying hard to learn. Learn. It's not moving. We are in the same slide number 1.
It is showing the slide number 1 only.
Let me try again.
Learn it how to do.
Yeah. Now it can.
Yeah.
No. Sir, again.
Yes, sir, I am trying again. Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, here we describe the filter are the independent entities. That is, each filter runs on its without depending on other filters. They work independently. And during the pipe and filter style, a filter does not know what filter is above it and what filter is below it. There are two types of filter. One is active filter and one is passive filter. Active filter are those filters which derives the data flow on the pipes. Means it pulls the data from the pipes. But in passive filter, the pipe pushes the data into the filter. And
Give some example. Give some example.
So for example, just like in Unix, we use the grep command. The grep command pulls from the pipe to match a pattern and then prints out. But in active case filter is the scanner or parser in the compiler. The active filter tries to the pipes itself. It does not pushes the data into the scanner or parser in the compiler. Here we will discuss about in the compiler. And the characteristic of pipe is that
passive filter.
Passive filter is in Unix, sir. The grep command.
Okay, and active
that we use. Active is in compiler.
Okay, go ahead. Next.
The pipe takes input from the input sink and sends it to the output. But a pipe has a unique characteristic that it does not modify the data while transferring. It preserves the sequence of data items. This is the overall description, general description of the pipe and filter. It takes data from the data source, puts in the pipe, it then passes it to filter. The filter processes the data and produces some useful result and puts it again in the pipe and then continues until the data target is reached.
Hello, Nirmal.
Yes.
Can you tell me how filter processes the data? Oh, sorry, pipes. How pipes processes the data?
Pipe does not process data. It only transfers from data source to next filter or from one filter to another filter. Its job is only to transfer.
Okay, means only filter will process the data. Anything output, input.
In the mid of the filters, already I have discussed the front end, back end, and the middle end. In the middle end, the processing occurs. Yes or no?
Yes.
The application actually happens in the middle end, and that data target here is written without giving any box or without giving any component notation. The data target, that is the data server or the network server. Okay. In between, there are lot of middle ends which help us to process the information, what it will get it from its previous layer or from its previous component.
So generally, here the order of filter matters because the output will vary if we change the order of filter. Because output of one filter is input to another filter. So we have to maintain the order to get the desired output. If we change the order of filter, the output desired output will also change. This is the example where active filters. It's in the compiler, pipe and filter style in compiler.
Nirmal, one thing, you are
Yes.
just giving only the filter name. Actually, it should be so specific what that filter is. Here you have given something. What that filter, exactly, right, this figure, important.
Yes.
First one, previous one is the very generalized.
Generalized
Very
one.
Huh.
Yes. This is the use of this style in compiler. How are you using this style, pipe and filter style in compiler?
Yeah.
Here we can see there. Here you can see there are 6 filters, namely scanner, parser, semantic checker, intermediate code generator, code optimizer, and machine code generator. A compiler is a software that converts a language A into a language B. It can be high-level language to machine-level language or high-level language to assembly language, anything. So here we input the language character by character into the scanner. The scanner produces the token stream, which is then passed into the parser to generate a syntax tree. The syntax tree is then passed into semantic checker to check the syntax whether it is correct or not, and it produces a decorated syntax tree. Then to the intermediate code generator, which produces a bytecode, which is machine independent. It can run on any machine, which is then passed into code optimizer, which optimizes the code such as loop, to reduce the size of the code, or it can optimize the loops, and then it passed into machine code generator, which produces the machine code. Next is the application in pipe and filter style in Unix. Here is a Unix command: cat input text.txt, grep.txt, and sort it output. Cat is a command used in Unix to concatenate, which has a full form of concatenate. Cat is used to open file or to create a new file, whereas the grep and sorts are the filter used in Unix shell. Here the cat command opens the input text file, which is then passed to the filter grep, which searches through the input text file to match the pattern text. Wherever there is a pattern, wherever there is a word text, it prints it out, and it sends it to this filter sort. After sorting it, the cat command stores it in output text. The benefit of using this in Unix is that we don't have to store the intermediate results anywhere. It just need to be passed from one filter to another filter. And one more benefit is that it encourages the programs to be simple and small. These are the pros or the advantages of using pipe and filter style. Ensures loose and flexible coupling of components or filters. Loose or flexible coupling means we can add any number of filters and remove any number of filters without disturbing or modifying any other filters. Here, loose coupling allows filters to be changed without modification to other filters. In pipe and filter style, we treat filters as black boxes because users of the system don't need to know the logic behind the working of each filter, how the sort command works, whether it uses merge sort or radix sort or anything. It also provides the reusability. We can use the same filter many times and anywhere, any place in between. The disadvantages is that addition of many number of filters causes overhead to computation, means it increases computations, so thereby reducing the performance of the system. Not a good choice for interactive system, because in interactive system we dynamically access any GUI component, but we are not able to apply dynamically filters into the pipe and filter style. Dynamically adding filters is difficult in pipe and filter style.
Nirmal?
Yes.
Please go to slide number 7.
Yes.
That application. So can you identify here what are those active filters and passive filters? I just need to see some examples in understand. So in this example, which filters can be identified as active and passive?
Here all the filters are active filters, because we are just inputting the input character to the scanner. We are just sending the program, and when you compile it, when you press compile, the scanner takes the input character by character itself. Similarly, when the scanner puts the token stream, the parser passes the token stream itself. Not the pipe forces it. Forces the data into the parser. Parser pulls the data from the pipe. Here, all the filters are active filters.
Nirmal, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Is there are any types of filter, like in this we have seen that from scanner to parser we have any types of pipes. We have a pipe in between the filters, so the pipe only takes token stream. What if we
Yes.
what if we send syntax tree? Parser will not evaluate that. So is pipe typed or not? Type
Pipes
specific
are
pipes.
also typed. Pipes are of active pipe and passive pipes.
Okay, pipes also.
Yes. A active parser is attached with a passive pipe, because the filter will pull it. Active filter is coupled with a passive pipe, because the filter will pull it and the pipe does not have to do anything. But but in another scenario, we have to couple active pipe with a passive filter, because here the pipe has to do the work for the filter.
Okay.
Nirmal, can you tell me means any data element in between pipes and filter for processing?
Let me take this input text here in the Unix.
Means for any specific data element like data structure, any kind of thing.
Yes, you can pass, for example, if you want to sort an array.
Yeah.
So array is a data structure. You
Yes.
can pass it to this sort filter and it will produce the sorted output.
So, but that's an data stream, na?
Yes, data stream means it will fetch
Output
data
stream,
from the
more
array
precisely
one by one.
character streams, I think. Everything happen
No,
in character stream.
Character stream means the language. For example, if you have written a program in C, int a, so character is int and a. It is passed into the scanner. Then it token arrays according to the C language, whether int should be token, a should be a variable, a is a token, and then it passes into the parser to generate the syntax tree of the C program that you have written.
Okay.
Okay, good. Somo, again to you. You didn't ask. Somo,
Sir.
I'm catching you all the time. Why? Just Somo is a sample. Why you didn't ask what is loose coupling, what is tight coupling? You should have given some example of tight coupling also. Why didn't you ask? Why are you sleeping? Give the answer, sir. I am not sleeping. Give the answer. You have learned from Mahendra Sharma. Ask for your growth. I am telling something for your growth.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. I am still a baby. My mommy feeds me. Go to that loose coupling. Panda. Nirmal. You ask, I want this type of interaction. Where is that loose coupling? I think somewhere later on. Next to next. Go next. This is 7, 8, 9, I think. Somewhere 9.
Sir, I am at 9. Sir, this is slide number 9.
Oh, it is 7, it is
Use
coming.
and flex.
Somewhere. Here, 9. Loose coupling allows filters to be changed. If I make it, how I can make my filter and pipe connectivity tight coupling? If I make it, then what is the problem? What is
Sir,
the problem? Yeah.
Sir, if we make it tight coupling, then we cannot later modify it according to our use. And suppose we have a program to sort an array using pipe and filter. So it by default it sorts in ascending order. But if you want to reverse it, we have to again change the filter structure and we have to apply a reverse sort in that. We have to totally and entirely change the architecture of that software.
Okay. So any component connector concept here? Somewhere you have not written which are the component, which are the connectors.
Sir, filter acts as a component, pipe as a connector. Sir, it's written in slide number 3.
Oh, it's written. Somehow I missed it. Okay. Good. Okay. Debo next. Debo start.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's all.
Okay. I am stopping. I am sharing. Stop my sharing.
You quit. You learn how
Okay,
to
sir.
make it full slide view in the next class. Okay. You teach
Okay.
everybody. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You teach everybody how to make it full slide view. Okay.
Chandrakant Chaudhary is present or not? Yes, sir. Chandrakant Chaudhary present or not?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
I have given some assignment, but during that time you were absent in that class. I think that you are facing some power issue. You prepared for it?
Yes, sir. Prescriptive and descriptive architecture, sir.
Have you prepared for it for the presentation?
Yes, sir. I have made a PPT for that, sir.
Just make it in the next class to you to present. And you and as well as Asim.
Sir, I have already sent it to you, sir, on webmail, sir.
It told to present how the what role color Kelly is working. Not as individual assignment only for you.
Yes.
You, Chandrakant, you explain with example how code, role, color, poly, descriptive, and prescriptive architecture with example. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With example. That's what AI is telling. You should presentation clearly.
Next class be prepared. Okay, next class be prepared.
Okay, sir.
With example, make it more impressive. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next. Now you continue. Yeah.
Sir, is it in full mode or not?
Yeah. Yes. It is in full mode. Nirmal Panda, just you see. Rekha, just you see how
Yes,
the
sir.
buffet have made it full mode. Okay. You ask him later. Okay.
All right, sir. I will ask after the class.
Demo start. We'll close this.
In the last class, we have discussed about the summary of all the styles. Okay, from the traditional style to the derived style, in which we have 6 important styles we have discussed, like the layout style, data flow styles, and when to use and when to avoid. These things we have discussed. When to use, that is the important thing, and in which scenario you have to avoid that architecture or for the style of that style. Okay. Now, the design recovery means if you are facing any difficulty after the execution and you don't have any recovery option for it, then how to know which architecture is there and how it is working. So for this, how to do the recovery part of any design. So here you just look at the what happens if a system is already implemented. We have implemented one system, but we don't have any recorded architecture. We don't have the recorded architecture. How to recover it if we have a proper location of the architecture? So how to recover? And this types of design recovery is, first thing is to examining the existing code base. In the code source, in the source code, you have to examine the existing code. Then determine what the system components are and the components are. And finally, which topology is being used for this architecture or for this system. So by doing all the examinations with the code, with the components, connectors, and what the topology you are using, you can able to recover the design of architecture. So a common approach to architectural recovery is the clustering of the implementation level. During the implementation level, we have to group the clustering. The grouping means clustering. Just like two type of clustering we can apply for the recovery of any architecture. So for that, it has syntactic clustering and semantic clustering. Okay. The syntactic clustering. Syntax, it will follow the format or any syntax. It focuses exclusively on the static relationships among the code levels. It focuses on the static relationship in between the implementation code level. Then it can be performed without executing the system. Which one? That syntactic cluster. Then embodies means it is the intercomponent embodiment, the attachment of the components and intra-components. Intercomponents and intra-components. Components within other components are the intra, and components in different positions are the intercomponents. The first one intercomponent was the known as also coupling, another one is cohesion. These are the two connectivity techniques. You may ignore or misinterpret many subtle relationships because dynamic information is missing. You have to hear the dynamic information missed because it is performed without executing the system also. So this is one part, that is the syntactic clustering that can be used to recover any design. Next one, semantic clustering. It includes all the aspects of a system's domain knowledge. Just like we have discussed something, the deep knowledge and the shallow domain knowledge. Deep domain knowledge means you have some specific ideas about a particular architecture, DSSA, domain specific software architecture. So it includes the all aspects of a system's domain knowledge and information about the behavioral similarity of its entities. It helps to understand the behavioral similarity of all the entities. Which one? The semantic clustering. It requires the interpreting the system entity's meaning and possibly executing the system on a representative state of inputs. Here, the system's meaning is important. Entity's meaning. The semantic behavior works with the meaning of any sentence. So it will interpret the meaning of any entities or system entities and possibly executing the system on a representative set of inputs. It will execute with a set of inputs. and it is also difficult to automate. So in maximum cases it is handled manually because it is difficult to automate. It may also be difficult to avail oneself of it. It is also difficult to avail oneself for a particular thing or for a particular meaning. It is also difficult to avail. So these are the two techniques: syntactic clustering and semantic clustering, which helps to recover by analyzing the code from the source code and examining the system components, the connectors, and which topology they are using. Now, when there is no experience, if we are completely unaware, we are unexperienced about the clustering of the semantic as well as the syntactic cluster. So when there is no such experience, how to move, how to proceed? So here the first effort a designer should make in addressing a novel design challenge. You have to do some design challenge. Which design is best matched to the your requirement, or which design will best match to your system's architecture. So it is to attempt to determine that is genuinely a novel problem. That can also determine by doing something novel design challenge. The next one, the basic strategy. You have to follow the basic strategy. One is divergence. Sake of inadequate prior approaches. Just remove the inadequate previous approaches and discover or admit a variety of new ideas. You have to introduce or you have to engage or enroll some new ideas to your approach by giving up or by removing the inadequate previous approach or prior approaches. Then transformation. It is a combination of analysis and selection. You have to go for a deep analysis for the architecture and then choose in a manual basis. Then convergence, divergence and convergence. Divergence means splitting, and convergence means you are merging. The convergence, it's selecting and further refining ideas. Again and again, you have to give some refined ideas. The ideas should be properly refined. Repeatedly cycling through the basic steps until a feasible solution emerges. And you have to continue with the cycle or with the process until you get a practical or feasible solution for it. Next, analogy searching. By analogy. So here it suggests to examine other fields and disciplines unrelated to the target problem. You have always a destination or target problem, and for which you have to examine some different aspect of fields and disciplines. They are not directly related to a particular problem, and you have to approach with ideas that are analogous to problem. When you are approaching for it, your ideas, how it is working, you have to analyze it properly. How this analysis will practically help to your problem. You have to introduce your new ideas for it. Then formulate a solution strategy. You have to formulate a solution strategy that is based on analogy. By analogy or by doing a proper analysis, you have to formulate a solution. A common unrelated domain means which is not directly attached to your target problem. That is the unrelated domain. That has yielded a variety. It will give a, by default, by nature, it will give a larger solution. And you have to synchronize which solution is best matched to your problem. That is the main objective here. Especially this is the biological science, and you can also consider the neural network. It will provide, if also it is an unrelated domain, it will yield or it will generate or it will provide a larger solutions. It may directly attach to your domain or not, but which solution is very good match to your problem, your target problem, you have to synchronize it. Am I audible properly?
Just by the way, anybody has worked with neural network problem? Anybody has worked? Hello? Anybody has worked anything little bit in the area of neural network application? Anybody has
Yes, sir.
worked?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have solved some problem using neural network?
Yes, sir. Classification problem.
Classification problem. Okay. Anybody
Very
else?
good area, very interesting. Without killing any time, just go for it. Any machine learning neural networks. Later it will be very difficult. In first year you start.
Yes. We'll give some assignment, okay?
Okay, sir.
Until unless we give assignment, Somu will not learn. So we have to push the interest. So give some small assignment on different basic types of supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised learning, okay? And one assignment on each. Let them study and solve it. Okay. Okay, go ahead. We'll do it.
Yes.
It is very helpful in every field of science. People are applying this neural network. This sentence, whatever is there in slide number 20, you will see every field of science. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead. Okay.
So you can also find a solution for your target problem by doing some analogy. Although you will get a large number of solutions with a unrelated domain, but you can find the best match which is very helpful for your target problem. So it is by analogy only, where you have to go for a deep knowledge base with some good ideas. Then brainstorming means ultimately you are what? You are utilizing your brain very efficiently. Which one? The architect. The architect is utilizing for the solution. Now, next, brainstorming. The proper execution of your mind. The best execution for mind, brainstorming. This technique of rapidly generating a wide set of ideas. Your mind will generate a large number of or good set of ideas which are very close to the solution. The ideas means it does not mean that various different ideas. It should be very close to your problem. You are providing some solution. That solution should be very similar. It may not exact in a right point, in the exact point, or in a particular point. It may not be exact solution, but it should be very nearer to your problem. So you have to generate a wide set of ideas which are very close to a problem. Then it will provide some thoughts to pertain to a design problem. And without devoting effort to assessing feasibility. Okay, by devoting the assessment or practically doing with feasibility, you can also put your ideas. The brainstorming can be done by an individual or more commonly by a group. Just like during the exam, you are doing some mathematical solutions. If you don't have the previous solution with you, still you are doing it with a group. All are sharing their very close ideas related to a particular problem. So you can cover it or complete or proceed through individually or by a group. Then a problem. It is a brainstorming session. It can generate a large number of ideas. All ideas may not exactly match, but this you have to find which is the best match for your problem. All of which might be low quality. So those who will be remote, one idea will be best match for it, other will be remote, which are low quality in nature. The chief value of the brainstorming is an identifying category of possible designs. So by doing your brainstorming, whether in an individual or in a group manner, you have to identify the category of possible designs, a list of possible designs which are similar for your problem. Not any specific design solution suggested during a session. Not any, we cannot suggest a specific design for it. Rather, we can give a category of possible designs. After brainstorm, the design process may proceed to the transformation and conversion step. Okay. After that, you have to move towards the convergence. Means you are merging all the ideas to get a good solution for it. A single individual may not have all the good ideas for a problem. But if 10 students are providing very best ideas, and we can converge all the good ideas from all the 10 students, it may possible to find a solution for the target problem. Then the literature search. These are for recovering a design. Now, literature search. Examining the published information to identity material that can be used to guide or inspire the designers. It will help to identify to get the information of any identity material that can be used to guide or to encourage or to inspire the designers. Many historical useful ways of searching literatures are available. Why we will go for any literature survey? If you will read a lot of papers, then only you will find some ideas of writing your new paper. So for that we go for something literature survey. In various good papers, you will gain the knowledge for it. And you will find some issues also. And in your next time, when you will write a paper, you can present all the issues and you can write a good paper. So for anything, just like for papers, we go for any survey, literature survey. So these are very useful, a historical useful ways of searching the literature. Okay, many historical ways are there to search the literature. Some digital library collections make searching extraordinarily faster and more effective. The same thing which I am previously just saying, the IEEE Explorer, the SCM Digital Library, the Google Scholar. These are the very vast platform to provide the digital collection of the literature. And it is a very faster and very much effective way to get the ideas or literature. These are many are there. One is the IEEE Explorer, the SCM Digital Library, the Elsevier, the Springer Library, the Elsevier Library, Google Scholar, Semantic Scholar. They will provide a large number of ways to find the collection of the information of any literature. The availability of free and open source softwares adds special value to the technique. So also there are some paid services, and for some open source softwares are there, which you can utilize it. So because of the free and open source software, these are more helpful our literature survey. Otherwise, for each time we have to pay for it. Morphological charts. Morphologically, how it is working. The entire selection, morphology, the study. You have to go for a study. Now, am I audible, dear students? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
If you are asking any questions, that is very much welcome. So if you are facing any difficulties or doubt, please ask. And these are some theoretical parts. In the later of the chapter, we will get very interesting designs and conceptual views for the software architecture subject. Now some theoretical parts. We are entering to some very interesting chapters in the next PPTs, from the next PPTs. So you have any doubts, any type
we
of
have
doubt?
connector.
Yes,
Very
sir.
interesting. Next PPT
Very
we have
interesting.
connector. Very
How
interesting.
the next
How to
class is the
connect.
connector. How the connector, the mechanism of connecting a connector. to the components with the proper configuration. So please be sincere, and after the class also you go through the PPTs at least twice. Once or twice you go through the PPTs. You don't solely depend on the classroom study only or the online class only. After the class, you go for it. These PPTs, these are very much helpful. Okay, anyway, the morphological study, the detailed study. This is the essential ideas first. It will identify all the primary functions to be performed by the desired system. What the basic fundamental functions that are attached to your design should be performed by the desired system. And for each function, for each particular operation, you have to identify a proper meaning to perform that function. You have to justify it. You have to identify it, a proper meaning for that function. Then you have to attempt to choose one means or one method for each function such that the collection of means performs all the required functions in a compatible manner. You have to find that thing. You have to choose one method for which each function will collect the means to perform all the required functions in a compatible manner. The technique does not demand that the function be shown to be independent when starting out. This type of techniques will not demand an independent function when you are starting for it. So some sub-solutions to a given problem don't need to be compatible with all the sub-solutions to other functions in the beginning. So sometimes what happens, all the solutions or all the sub-solutions may not need a compatibility to perform the functions from the beginning. Then removing mental blocks. If something blocking or any blockage is creating to your solution, try to remove it. Or also your mental ideas, which is blocking other good ideas, you have to remove it. If you can't solve a problem, change the problem one you can solve. Don't be stick to a particular problem and stay and look it for year and year. Just switch to another problem. If you are facing difficulties for the first problem, you have to solve for the second problem. If the new problem is close enough to what it is needed, then closure is reached. If the second problem is very close enough, you are very much approached to your second problem, then you are almost reached to the problem solution. If it is not close enough, the solution to the revised problem may suggest new venues for attacking the original. So, if you are not close enough to a problem, then the solution to the revised problem, you have to revise the problem, and it may suggest new venues. It may suggest new ideas or new locations or new part of your brain for attacking the original. Next, to control the design strategy. How to control the design? The potentially chaotic nature of exploring diverse approaches. When you are not getting a solution for a particular or specific problem, we approach diversified. In a diversified way, we approach for a solution. Means we are distributing our problems. Diverse approach, distributing in different points to the problem. It demands that some care is used in managing the activity. You are taking some care to manage all the activity when you are approaching with some diversified problems. Diversified approaches. Then identify and review the critical decisions, which are very much helpful. You have to find the critical, which is the main gist for your solution. So you have to if you have a n number of decisions, find the critical decisions from the n number of decisions that may very close to your problem. Relate the cost of research. It is also another aspect. How much you are expanding for your research and design to the penalty for taking wrong decision. Ultimately, The critical decision should be very pinpointed. Otherwise, what will happen? Your decisions will be wrong, for which you have to pay a lot. You have to give the penalty for it. Then insulate uncertain decisions. If you are not, there is no certainty of your decisions, you just insulate it. Means you have to separate it, isolate it. No need to attach to your problem. Then continually reevaluate the system. Continuously reevaluate the system. It is required in the light of what the design exploration is. What the design exploration is necessary. You have to reevaluate the system. Means when you are doing any problem, you just reevaluate yourself. Then only you can find a solution. Evaluate yourself. If I am up to the mark or not. If I am with all the equivalent level or not. Reevaluate yourself. Similarly, you have to reevaluate the system's requirement in the light of what the design exploration yields. For the design exploration requiring for the solution, you have to reevaluate for the system. Then insights from requirements. In many cases, new architectures can be created based upon the experience. In maximum cases, the architecture can be created by using your past experience. Experience means it is your past knowledge. It is your past knowledge base, and with an improvement to pre-existing architecture. That experience will help to improve a architecture by using the pre-existing architecture. Want something existing architecture, you have to apply your experience to it to get the new architecture. In many cases, a new architecture will be created. One thing is the experience and the existing architecture. Then requirements can use a vocabulary of non-architectural resources and therefore reflect experience. If you are using or if you are requiring for your design a non-architectural choice, obviously it will reflect your experience. The interaction between past design and new requirements means that many critical decisions for a new design can be identified or made as a requirement. So the experience is very much important, by which you can interact the past design. Only when you have a very good knowledge base, in your past you have a good experience, then you can interact, so that you can take wise critical decisions for any new design that can be identified or more as a requirement. And previous one, insights from the requirement, it is insights from the implementation. From the implementation part, how you are viewing it. So in the implementation, the constraints on the implementation activity may help to save the design. According to the implementation of the source code, it may help to save the design of your architecture. Externally motivated constraint might dictate a useful way of a use of a middleware, use of a particular programming language, and software use. So these are externally motivated. It helps to use of a middleware, use of a particular programming language, and to use a software, reuse a software. Then design and implementation may proceed cooperatively and contemporaneously. Means in a same way, contemporaneously. Contemporary means in the advanced way, in the simultaneous way, and a cooperative way. The initial partial implementation activities may yield the critical performance or any feasibility information for the implementation view. Okay. So these are some aspects associated with your architecture and style. Okay. In the next class, we will go for the architecture component and connectors. Okay. First one we will go for the connectors, then how these connectors are associated with the components with the proper configuration. Okay, this much for today. Sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. My assignment was prescriptive and descriptive and caller and callee.
Okay.
Sir, can you please repeat so I can write down, sir?
your assignment is the port and role. In which the role is works as a color and sometimes color and sometimes calling. Color means you are calling to something and someone called after your request, that is the calling. Port and role, in a role you have color and calling.
In room caller and callee. Okay, sir.
And
Thank you, sir.
this is the assignment of Chandrakant and Asif Kaveria is present today. I have given a mail to you and you are not. I have given a mail for I did some chat with you.
No, sir. Yes, sir. We had chat, sir, but that assignment was. That assignment was. You said, sir, that is common for all. But for me specifically, you said that you have to make a prescriptive and descriptive.
Prescriptive and descriptive.